Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. If you are new here, my name is Jenny and this is Mukbangs with my puppy. Today we are minus the puppy. Actually think that one day we should get a cutout of Josie's head. So, you know, if you're missing her right now, you can check out my previous two videos where she joined me and my husband for mukbangs in our cars. I actually came out for a doctor's appointment and made my way next door to an Asian supermarket that actually has some dim sum. If you are not familiar with dim sum, it is basically Chinese small plates, like almost like tapas. So I'm gonna show you what I have for lunch because I'm starving. So first we have a lotus, I think this is lotus leaf wrapped sticky rice. This is shumai, so like customarily, so I do see shrimp, so shrimp and pork dumplings. I guess this would constitute dumplings. You can see dumplings. We have a coconut cream bun, and this is basically, like you can see coconut shreds. I'll show you this to you when we break this out. This is looking really pale. This is basically noodles, rice noodles with shrimp stuffed in it. And I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's really blown out. So you can see that that's, usually people eat it with soy sauce, and I am peculiar in that I do not. Last but not least, another shrimp item. This is what we call hargao, and this is basically also shrimp, and it's stuffed in, I think this is rice, like a rice type, right? I can't get it to like make it less bright. So anyway, I'm gonna dig right in. I just went to see my doctor. All is good. And now after this, I have to actually go to Josie's veterinarian and pick up medication. We are going to be leaving town, and she generally, it's like she has access to my Google Calendar or something when she knows that we're about to leave. She has a tendency to basically, not to be gross, but like, you know, her what comes out of her is not that great. Sorry, I know we're eating. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go get her some medication just in case, because the girl has a lot of medical issues. One day we'll kind of do a deep dive into what's wrong with her. But I'm gonna basically try out the shumai. I wish this was hot. It's not, but you know what? I will still take dim sum cold versus none at all, because, well, yeah. Right. In my last video, there was like a lot of sun, and hopefully it's not that bad today. Peter and I booked a trip for Mexico for next year, 2022. And has a good cancellation policy. We're gonna go to an all-inclusive resort with his cousin and her partner. And we are going to be staying at a resort where the hotel room basically opens up onto a pool. So really excited, just a little bit hesitant because obviously we don't know what the state of the world will be next year, even though it's later in the year. That was really good. Okay, so like the rice noodles are obviously cold, and because they're cold, it's a little congealed, but still good. I'm not complaining. Let's see if I can fix the exposure. All right, I played with the exposure on my phone just to see, and I feel like way less blown out, right? So you can see the shrimp. If you're not used to dim sum or like Asian food in general, this type of texture might be a little bit intense for some people. Asian people, Chinese people in particular, we like, for lack of a better phrase, slimy things. And when Peter first met me, he really had to grow accustomed to eating food that felt weird. Tasted good, but felt odd. Let me know if you guys have ever done dim sum before, or if you're new to it. You know, we eat some things like chicken feet. I grew up eating chicken feet. I grew up going to a dinner and getting served a whole chicken for the table and having the head still on. Same for fish, right? It's a different vibe, certainly. So here, now you get a better view of the shrimp and the rice noodle. Am I strange for not needing soy sauce? Anyway. I've never been to Mexico. Never been to Mexico because I've always been afraid of accidentally drinking the water and getting Montezuma's revenge, which is a legit thing, right? Like, but I hear that if you're staying at a resort, mushroom. If you're staying at a resort, you know, you get bottled water and a lot more. It's just like everything is filtered, I think. So as long as I don't accidentally like take a gulp somewhere, I think I should be fine. So here's the rice. It's got pork and sausage and mushroom. It's not for everybody. Who did I see? The Hunger Diaries. Watch The Hunger Diaries on YouTube. Really, really, really enjoy her channel. She cooks and she eats and she is fit. My goodness, she's got arms that are so just like she's built. Which is completely irrelevant to my thought process right now. She got the sticky rice, and I think she kept saying it tasted like fish. I don't see it, but also I grew up eating this, and I don't taste fish, but it really bugged her and she couldn't finish it, if I remember this correctly. Anyway, check out her channel. I really, really enjoy watching her. So you can see like the pork and, you know, pieces of pork. Super delicious. So if you are not familiar with Asian bakeries, we have very, very different take on pastries and bread. Our bread usually tastes like brioche. It's got sweetness to it. And they'll use it for everything, including wrapping it around like ham and egg or hot dog. And this one has nothing savory in it. I'm gonna have to get into the habit of vacuuming this car. But what it does have, maybe this was a bad idea because it's flaking everywhere, is buttercream, sweet buttercream in the center. And when I was a kid, I would live on this stuff because it would be like 50 cents a bun. And when I met Peter in college at NYU, I introduced him to this stuff. And we would go to the bakeries in Chinatown in New York City on weekends and fill up on this because it was cheap. And you know, when you're a college kid, funds are tight. And granted, you're eating a shit ton of carbs. It's not going to fill you up. At least not long lasting. Ooh. There's a seafood boil here. That's what it looks like. Right? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to vacuum this. There are like flakes of coconut everywhere. So, if you ever get a chance to check out an Asian bakery, do it. It's a different experience. Even Chinese bakery birthday cakes, they have a very specific taste. Like, very specifically, your generic yellow cake with this type of cream and like fresh fruit, you can taste an Asian bakery cake from miles away. Or I can look at an Asian bakery cake and identify it from a photo. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you know exactly what I'm talking about, because I feel like if you grew up with it, you know. Now, so I have to drive about 40 minutes to Josie's vet to get meds. Her vet is actually far and away from us because they were her foster when Josie was up for adoption. Before she became my foster, she was their foster. And there's nothing like having a really good relationship with your vet. And for her, and any dog, there's nothing like having a dog be comfortable at the vet's office. I was not gonna try to rebuild that relationship elsewhere. So we stuck with it. And we love them. Oh my god. Side note, for those of you who have animals out there, please be nice to your vet. They're having a really hard time. They're understaffed. I know people are really anxious about their pets, you know, and especially these days if you can't go into the clinic with them. But they are overworked, and a lot of people accuse them of like price gouging, and they're not. They spend a lot of money on their education. Not everybody has insurance for their animals. I feel like that's only recently become a thing for pet owners. Get pet insurance, guys. It's totally worth it. Our last dog, Lucy, used hers up, and Josie's insurance company, I swear at this point, is probably thinking, why did we agree to insure them? But they've never fought us on a payment, and they send us checks like every month because Josie is held together by duct tape. But yes, be nice to your vets. They are having a hard time, and believe it or not, the veterinary community has one of the highest rates of suicide, which is insane and awful. All right, last bite. So I'm in Jersey, but clearly the supermarket sources their baked goods from New York, from Bayard Street in Chinatown. All right. Anyway, I am going to go and clean myself up before I hit the road. Thank you for joining me for another mukbang. If you have yet to subscribe, hit subscribe, click like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've ever tried dim sum or Chinese baked goods. And if you haven't, I totally recommend. And if you have, isn't it yummy? Anyway, I will see you guys in my next video, and hopefully so will Joe. Take care. Bye.